All right. Hi guys, are you able to see me and hear me? A very warm welcome to all of you guys, and also kudos to the people who have already joined in for being really punctual. Okay, let me just check in the chat box so that I know that. Okay, guys. So, what are we gonna do today? Today, this is the final session for job application and beyond bootcamp, and today we would be having HR interview prep as well as Amazon mock interview. So now in today's session, we would be covering what all are the essentials of any HR interview. Correct. So you would be understanding the perspective of the employers, like what exactly do they expect out of you, especially when you're appearing for an HR interview, right? What all are the common mistakes that people generally make, how you can avoid them, and ultimately we'd be having an Amazon mock interview, guys. So make sure to stay attentive throughout the session because, of course, you guys would be moving closer to your final reward, which is a board speaker. And I hope all of you guys are really excited for the session. So, can I have a big excited word specifically written in the chat box? Okay, so hi Prashant, hi Hirekar, hi Gohil, hi. Okay, yeah. Mahesh bro hai. Okay, all right, got it. So, again, a very warm welcome to all of you guys. So, before Shilpa joins in, I would like to remind you guys that we would be having a very fun quiz at the end of the session at around 10 o'clock, right? And I'll be giving you a homework. So make sure that you complete all these steps if you actually want to win your reward, correct? And I do remember that we had covered in the very first session, we had covered the resume building session. So you guys must have already built your resume by now. Secondly, yesterday we covered soft skills, as in the body language, voice tone, your facial expressions, which are extremely important if you actually want to build a good impression and even a lasting impression in front of others, correct? Because the way you talk is extremely important. How you present yourself and how you present your ideas, it's extremely important, right? And today, because yesterday we covered the art of communication, today we would be covering the more of a science aspect of it when it comes to the HR interview, correct? So, are you guys excited? All right. Eagerly waiting for homework. Got it, Hirekar. Unknown Anonymous says share Zoom meeting link in YouTube. Okay. So, why do you ask for the Zoom meeting link? Because YouTube should be more, convenient for you because that way you can change your settings and save your data. So, make sure that you guys stay attentive and I'll be. Guys, am I not audible? Stuti. Sorry, not Stuti, Shilpa. Okay, guys, Shilpa is just joining in. Just allow us a few minutes. All right, so Shilpa has just joined in. Shilpa, are you able to hear me? Now you should be able to hear me. Okay, still waiting for Shilpa. No worries, no worries. Okay, guys, I'm still waiting for that one word excited in the chat box. Are you not excited for this Amazon mock interview? I thought you guys would be excited because there's a lot you would be learning in today's session. I have personally worked on today's session, to be very honest. Thank you so much, Unknown Anonymous, for letting me know that I am audible. This was very important for me to know. Okay. And I think Shilpa, can you let me know if you're there?
Sweksha, am I audible?
Absolutely, Shilpa, you are definitely audible.
I'm so sorry you're not audible.
I think you need to, okay, everyone else is able to hear me, Shilpa. Can you please check your audio? Okay. I think that should be absolutely fine. Meanwhile, guys, can you let me know if you have already, okay, Meghna, right, excited. VJRAE 13, Vijay Ray. Excited. Okay, so I had connected with you yesterday as well. I do remember that you were there in yesterday's session as well. Raza, Baji, right? Excited. Even I'm more excited now because I can see people joining in from yesterday's session. So really good to see so many people being really consistent with their efforts, guys. Consistency is one of the keys. Obviously, this has been repeated multiple times by many people, but of course, there's no shortcuts to success. It's extremely important for you guys to stay consistent. All right. Shilpa, again, we're still waiting for you. Uh, all right, Shilpa. You can rejoin. Till then, guys, what we can do is till then, I can share the screen about the mock interview as well as the HR interview prep that we are talking about. Let me just share my screen and do let me know if it is visible or not. Very important. And meanwhile, I do know that more and more people are joining in. All right. So, okay. Here is my screen, guys. Are you able to see my screen? I hope you guys are able to see my screen. It should be visible to you guys. Are you guys able to see my screen? Okay, I'm still waiting for your responses, guys. I hope. Okay, thank you so much, guys. So we have Shivraj, we have
I'm so
Soubik, we
sorry to
have.
interrupt you, Sweksha, but I would like to know if I am audible because you are not audible to me.
You are audible.
I
You are
am
audible.
audible, but you are not audible to me. I've checked the mic settings also, and everything seems to be okay. I just give me a minute, quick minute.
Sure, Shilpa, you can take your time. Actually, I am audible to everyone here, so there must be an issue. Okay, no worries, guys. So Shilpa will be rejoining. Till then, I hope my screen is visible to you. A lot of you guys have okay, Tarun, Hirekar, Anis, Sankari, Shivraj. Right, guys. Very good to see you guys here. I think Sobhik was there yesterday as well. Shivraj was there yesterday as well. So that is good to see. All right, guys. Have you built your resume? And all right, guys. One more question is that did you solve the homework 2, which was assigned to you? Can you type in done if you have done that? Because that is very important. Okay, that is visible. That is good to know. Thank you so much, Meghna. Thank you for letting me know. All right. Okay, got it. All right, guys. So Shilpa is here now, and I hope Shilpa you're able to hear me now.
Yes, Riksha, I really apologize for the inconvenience. It's a technical error.
That is absolutely fine, Shilpa. Just make
Request you-
sure
I would request you to grant me the permission to start my video and sharing my screen. That needs to be done at your end.
I have done that. You can share your video now. So, guys, all the very best. Stay tuned because it's extremely important that you listen to each and every single thing. And now, Stuti would be sharing screen and the secrets of how you can ace the HR interview and actually ultimately get placed. She'd be telling you what all things are the employers ultimately looking for and what you guys need to do if you actually want to get placed, if you actually want to build a lasting impression in front of your employers. Correct. So over to you, Shilpa. Thank you so much for joining in, and thank you so much for joining in to the audience as well.
Thank you so much, Raksha. Thank you for the opportunity. And, thank you very much for giving the session such a wonderful start. So, first of all, a very hello and warm welcome to everyone out here. I hope I'm audible and visible clearly to all of you. If yes, I would like to see a yes in the chat box. if I'm audible and visible clearly. Yes, that's great. So now I'm going to start sharing my screen with you guys. I hope the screen is visible. Okay, so we are going to start. First of all, I would like to ask all of you, why are we here? Any idea why are we here? What is going to be the purpose and agenda of this session? Guys, I'm waiting for your messages. Yeah, what is the purpose and agenda of this particular session? What are we here, or what is the takeaway that you guys want after the session? Just 1 second. Okay, yes. And what is the purpose and agenda? I can't see any messages flooding in my chat box. I would love to see more messages that what is the agenda of the session. Okay. So before starting the session, I would like to give my introduction to all of you. My name is Shilpa Jain, as it is clearly visible on the screen also. My name is Shilpa Jain, and I have an experience of more than 15 years in training students in soft skills. I'm an interview coach, and with my knowledge and experience, I would try my level best to give you the right kind of feedback. What is needed from the sessions? What will be your takeaways? We are going to discuss all of that. But before starting this, I would like to know how many of you are scared of facing the interviews? How many of you are scared of facing the interviews? Uh, if you are scared, I would like to crack the interview, learn how to be prepared for the interviews. Okay. Sweksha, I think somebody is asking for the Zoom ID. If you can help them, that would be really great. HR interview prep and Amazon mock interview. Very good. That is the purpose of the session. Now, my question is, how many of we are scared of facing the interviews? To be honest, though I am an interview coach, but even today, if I have to give an interview, I would get all jittery and nervous. And can we know what is the reason for this? Like, why do you think we are scared of the interviews? For this, let me share a short story with you guys. And the story is, when I tried scuba diving in Goa, I was really very scared. When I tried scuba diving in Goa, I was really very scared. Do you know why? Because I was just pushed into the waters without they telling me what I need to do, what I need to do. But the same experience when I did scuba diving in Andaman, I really enjoyed it. Do you know what was the reason behind it? Because before pushing me into the waters, the trainer literally trained me. He put the mask on. He told me that you need to breathe through here. You don't need to use this. You need to use the signal. You need to use that. So what is the moral of this story? Goa, without preparedness, I was dead scared. When the same scuba diving, when I did in Andaman, after the right preparation, I really enjoyed it. So can you tell me what is the moral of this story? Yes, I'm waiting for your messages, guys. interact and make the session interactive. I promise you guys that we are going to have a great deal of learning from this session. But I'll be needing your responses so that I can go ahead. I'm waiting for your responses. Okay. Message says, yes, it is the preparedness. I was prepared, so I was not scared. Same. These are just HR interviews, nothing else. All you need is a little preparation. And this is the agenda of today's meeting. Let's see. Let's go through the next slide. Interview preparations, they are important. Another question, we need to understand what are HR interviews. What exactly happens in HR interviews? What is the importance of HR interviews? And for this, I would like to ask another question. What is the difference between technical interviews and HR interviews? What is the difference between technical interviews and HR interviews? Or to make it even more specific, because it would be very difficult for you to write the answers, what do the interviewers check in technical interviews and what do the interviewers check in HR interviews? Waiting for the messages. What do the interviewers look after or look for in technical interviews, and what happens in HR interviews? Okay. Technical is about coding. Abdul, I got a message from Abdul. Technical is about coding, but HR is about communication skills and team play. Very good. You're very close to it, Abdul. That's another response. Yes, technical is about, okay. Very close. That in technical rounds, it is all about. Somebody is writing, no idea about it. No worries. That is why we are here. We are here to learn from each other. So whatever information I have, I'll be sharing with you. In technical, they will test about coding knowledge. Very good. We all are very clear about technical interviews, that it will be all related to your coding skills, your technical skills, the technical questions, the projects that we have worked on. Then what is the purpose of HR interviews? HR interviews, as said by Abdul, is about communication skills and team playing. That is a small part of it. Basically, in HR interviews, we look or we focus on the soft skills of a candidate. So, in short, technical is about coding and problem solving methods and knowledge about software. Very good. But what are HR rounds for? We all know, we have a clear idea about technical rounds. But what are HR rounds for? So as I rightly said here, that it is about your soft skills. Now, what are soft skills? To be more interactive, Nitin says, to be more information, okay, to get more information. I think you mean to say that to get more information about the candidate. Very good. But what kind of information? So to understand this, I told you that the thing that they are looking for is soft skills. Now, what are soft skills? Whenever I ask this question to any of my candidates, they always say, ma'am, communication skills. Soft skills are nothing but communication skills. Then they would have called communication skills. Why would they be called soft skills? The reason behind this is that soft skill is a very wide umbrella. And under this, communication skill is just a small little part of it. Though it is very important, but alone communication skills cannot be your soft skills. So first, let us understand what are soft skills. Anything that you need, let's forget the definition. Whatever is written on the slide, we'll forget about it and we'll try to understand the concept. Okay, Zoom ID, please. Okay. So we'll try to understand the concept. If you're working on a project, do you think just your technical knowledge will be sufficient to work effectively on the project? No, you will be needing a lot other skills. And those skills that are not technical but are needed are known as soft skills. We also call soft skills by other names like transferable skills or interpersonal skills. Now, why do we call it transferable skills? The reason is if you know coding, you are good for, technical jobs. If you want to be a doctor, you need to know that specific terms. Okay, no. But here what happens, if you have soft skills like communication skills, it will be usable to you whether you are a doctor, whether you are trying to work for an IT firm, whether you are a teacher, whether you are a shopkeeper, whether you are a businessman. It is applied everywhere. It is not limited to a specific job. I hope it is clear. If it is clear, I want a yes from everybody here. That soft skills are not just communication skills, they are not related to one particular job, but they are transferable and they can be used anywhere. So I want a yes if you have understood. And I'm not going to move forward until and unless I see yes coming in. Guys, waiting for your messages? True. Yes. Yes. Very true. So now what are soft skills? One soft skill is communication skill. We all know that. Can we think of some other soft skills? Let us imagine that I'm working on a project, or if you are after 2 years, some of you guys are very successful entrepreneurs and you're planning to set up your own company. Think from the perspective of the interview. That is also the key of interview preparation. You have to start, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for the lovely response. I'm getting a good response from you guys. Okay. So what happens when you think from the perspective of the interviewer that if I want some candidates for my company and if I give them a project, just their technical skill would do? No, they would be needing a lot many other skills. Like number one, they should be very good at planning, because if they are not good at planning, nothing can work. If there is not a proper plan, nothing can succeed. Correct? So there are many skills like, yeah, okay, good. There are many skills like planning. Then you have to be very good at taking decisions in your life. Who to hire, who should be in my team, if I take him, what is the reason behind it? Decision making, like should I hire one of the team members or should I take in one of the team members because he's my good friend, or will you look at whether they are capable of doing that work? So the right decision at the right time needs to be taken. Okay, yes, I agree. So true. And another thing, let's move to the next slide and try and understand from this slide. One very important skill is communication skill. Teamwork. You guys have to learn how to collaborate in teams. Decision making. Stress management. There is a lot of stress nowadays. In your workplace, if you don't know how to handle your stress, or if you don't know how to work under pressure, that is going to be a big obstacle in your career. And the interviewers, when they are interviewing you, they are trying to find out these qualities in you. That how do you perform under pressure? Decision making, very good. One quality as mentioned by Hirikar Mahesh. Yes, decision making, very good. So these are certain soft skills. We will be discussing them in detail also. But first and the most important skill is communication skill. And as far as I know, you guys have had a session on communication yesterday. So just a quick recap, what is communication? Waiting for your messages. What is effective communication or what is communication? I'm waiting for the response. What is effective communication? Guys, you have to be active. Otherwise, it would become a one-sided session, and I would lose all the motivation, and I will not be able to perform well. So, if you want to get some good learning out of the session, please be interactive. Interaction between persons. Okay, interaction between people is what you mean to say. Speaking with people. Okay, more responses are needed. Very good. Good responses. Interaction between people, speaking between people or speaking with people. What are the other messages? Okay. So is it just about speaking? If I start, exchange of information by speaking told by Anis. Very good. This is what we are looking for. It has to be an exchange of information, thoughts, ideas, and sometimes just the feelings. You know, when you talk to your mother, maybe you're not sharing any information, sending and receiving information. Yes, rightly said, sending and receiving information. It is a two-way process. As told by Prashant, sending and receiving message, it is a two-way process. In order to be a good communicator, you have to be a good speaker and you have to be a good listener. Yes, a good speaker and a good listener. Sometimes what happens, we ignore the listening area. We just focus on how to be a good speaker. But then again, it is chaotic for the company if they hire you and you're not good listeners. Listening and understanding. Yes, well said. Okay. So, active listening. Before that, I want to ask you guys something. Please listen to the question very carefully and I will be moving forward only when I get a response from you guys. My question is, there are 230 apples in a basket. I'll repeat my question. There are 230 apples in a basket. You took away 19 apples. There are 230 apples in a basket. You took away 19 apples. How many apples do you have now? Waiting for your responses. I'm not very good at maths and I don't want any of you to use the calculator here. There are 230 apples in a basket. You take away 19. How many apples do you have now? Waiting for the response. Guys, it's a simple question. 211 says Raja. Abdul says 211. Kirikar says 211. Prashant says 211. I think he's doubtful about it, but he says 211. Anish responds 211. Okay, 230 apples. Now listen to my question. Another response is pouring in. Sunkari 211. Sunil Basha 211. Kirikar Mahesh 19 in hand. 211 in box. That's what is active listening. Now listen to my question again. 230 apples in a basket. You took away 19. How many do you have? My question was not how many apples are left in the basket. My question was how many apples do you have? So if you took away 19 apples, obviously you will have 19 apples in your hand. Yes? If you have understood the question, give me a yes. And this is the power of active listening. If you don't listen properly, the chances are, Prashant again is saying 19. Yes, Prashant, earlier it was 219, but after rephrasing the question or listening, actively listening, you have given me the right answer that it is 19. Very good response. Okay. Yes. So you have to be an active listener, because if you're not an active listener, what would, yes, I know. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the lovely responses. So if you're not an active listener, you guys made a mistake here, correct? So the chances are, if the employer hires you and you're not actively listening, you would goof up in your career also. Whatever tasks are given to you, you can make, the chances are you can make mistakes there. So no employer wants to take a chance, and they want active listeners. So from today, we all will start. Thank you so much. Lots of hearts pouring in. Thank you so much. So yes, you have to start and paying attention to what is happening around you. Don't just hear things, try to listen to it and understand it. Okay? Ma'am, I would request you to come. Okay. Yes, we are moving towards that. We will be moving towards the sample questions since communication has already been taken up. And another important point that needs to be covered here is that communication is of two types. One is verbal communication and the other one is non-verbal communication. We all are aware of it, correct? Non-verbal communication includes posture, the right body language, eye contact, smile. And you guys have to make sure that there is a proper alignment of your verbal communication and non-verbal communication. To give you an example, like verbal communication, non-verbal communication, since it was discussed in yesterday's class, so I'm not going into detail, but I want to say that they both are important, but non-verbal communication has a little extra edge. Sometimes it overpowers the verbal communication. Like for example, I'll give you an example. I want all of you to notice me for the next 10 seconds. Please observe my verbal communication and please observe my non-verbal communication. And please tell me which message reached you guys. Like, would you believe my verbal communication? If verbal, write a V. And if non-verbal, write NV. Not NV, sorry. Okay. Hi guys. I'm so happy and excited to conduct this webinar today. I'm full of energy. My verbal communication said that I'm happy, I'm excited, I'm full of energy. Whereas my non-verbal communication was exactly the contrary to what I was speaking. And which message reached you? Would you believe my verbal communication or non-verbal communication? I want responses pouring in. Can I see some response? Was my verbal communication more effective, or it was my non-verbal communication that was more effective? Verbal communication, okay. Okay. See, when you say something and your non-verbal communication speaks the opposite of that, for example, I'm very happy to meet you today. Doesn't make sense. The non-verbal communication overpowers the verbal communication. So in an interview, please make sure that your non-verbal communication is up to the mark. And how you can do that? By not slouching your shoulders should be back, your chin should be parallel to the ground, and a little smile on your face. So moving ahead, we all know that we have to speak in an interview. Very simple. Why is Shilpa saying this? That we need to speak in an interview. We all are aware of it. Correct? That we need to speak in an interview. But you will not find it on Google. So I would request you guys to take a screenshot of this slide. Here, when you have to speak in an interview, the speak has an acronym. I've used it as an acronym. S stands for smile. Very, very important to wear a smile on your face. P stands for pause and pace. I will be explaining that. E stands for eye contact. Imagine I start taking the session like this. Hi, how are you all? Today we are going to talk about interview preparation. You will not feel that connection with me. Eye contact is very, very important. The fourth point is articulate and K is knowledge. Now let us try and understand. Smile, eye contact, very simple. I think all of you know about it. Okay. The second one is pause and pace. Now what is pause? Whenever you're speaking, make sure that you take the necessary pauses. After you complete a sentence, a pause has to be there. And pace is the speed of your talking. Make sure that you're not going very fast so that it is not understood by anybody, or you are not going very slow. In that case also, the interviewer would lose his or her interest. Okay. Articulation is nothing but the art of speaking. If you go to the Google, it would give you very complicated meanings, but articulation is nothing but the art of speaking. Now, what does this art include? Number one, the correct pronunciation. Number two, you should not mumble the words. Mumble, you understood? Man mein nahi bola. You should never mumble the words. It should be very loud and clear. The other person, the listener, here in this case, your interviewer, should able be to understand you really very clearly. Ma'am, non-verbal communication is a reflection of our verbal communication. A very good answer given by Raja. Very good. That what we say reflects in our non-verbal communication. Correct? That is why I told you that they are always in complete alignment to each other. Now, what happens? What is the major mistake that we all guys do is that whenever a question, before coming to the questions, like obviously the main agenda is we have to, it's a request coming that we should start discussing the questions. Yes, we are going to do that. But before that, what is really very important is that you have to understand the question. Active listening. What is the interviewer trying to ask you? He may ask you just a very simple question, but here your job is, what does he want to know? Clarity of thought should be there. If you're not able to understand the question, there is no harm in asking the interviewer to say that, I'm really sorry, I could not understand your question. Could you please rephrase it for me? Yes? Yeah, sometimes it happens that we don't get the question, we don't understand it, but maybe when they rephrase it, it becomes easier for us to understand that question and reply to it. Now, there are different types of questions covered in an interview. Yeah, we are coming to the questions. There are different types of questions covered in an interview. One is standard questions. I've written it here. Can anybody else type in and tell me what are the other types of questions that are asked in an interview? Yeah, please don't type in the questions. What are the types of questions that are asked in an interview? One is standard question and other one, waiting for the reply, guys. Ma'am, can you take our mock interviews? I would have loved to do that, but right now here at the platform, this is not practically possible. But yes, we have a mock interview planned towards the end of the session via Skype or Google Meet. Okay, we'll talk about it later on. If AccioJob permits me to do that, we'll do that surely. Okay, so what my question was, other than standard questions, what are the types of different questions? Waiting for your response. Why there is so low energy in the session today? The different types of interview questions are standard questions, behavioral questions, and personality-based questions. Other than logical reasoning and reasoning questions, but here, okay, interview tips. Good. So today we are going to cover certain standard questions, and which is the first question that the interviewer usually starts with. Which is the first question that the interviewer, okay, you are writing why should we hire you? These are the types of, these are the questions, correct? What are your roles and responsibilities? Yes, but they fall under which category? We will be discussing that. The first question is, tell me about yourself. Yes, I've got a response from Prashant. Tell me about yourself is what the interviewer usually starts with. Correct? And this is going to be your first impression on the interview. And what do we say about first impressions? First impression. What do we say about first impression? I want to see, like in the chat box. What is the proverb that goes with first impression? First impression is the yes, guys. What do we say about first impressions? When you see somebody and you make your first impression, what happens after that? It's a good impression. Okay, first impression is a good impression. We have to make it good. First impression is the last impression. Rightly said by Abdul. First impression is the last impression. And here, this is an open-ended question that is asked to you. My tip to you guys is never consider it as a question. Never ever first impression is the last impression, said by Raja. Very good. Never consider this as a question that, okay, they have asked me a question, I'll give the response and it would be over. No. Take it as an opportunity. An opportunity that is given to you, and then you are going to give them 10 good reasons why they should be hiring you. Okay? So here, what are the reasons, or how do you basically start your introduction is, first, it can be asked in different ways. Introduce yourself can be asked in different ways. I've already got few responses here. Tell me about yourself. Please take me through your CV. Please take me through your life journey. They all mean the same. Here, the interviewer wants you to tell them that why, who are you, and why they should be hiring you. Though they are not asking you this question, why they should be hiring you. But here, you have to give them ample reasons. So what do you think can be the reasons that you can give the interviewer in your introduction? Waiting for the response. How can you influence the interviewer to hire you? What is one thing that you need to mention in your introduction that will influence the interviewer to hire you? What is that one thing that you need to mention in your introduction that would influence the interviewer to hire you? Waiting for the response again. By the time the responses are pouring in, we would start with what are the things and what is the structure. See guys, for introduction, structuring is the key. You have to be very, very careful about your structure. I have seen candidates, like in my journey of taking interviews, I have seen candidates, they start with their name, they tell their hobbies, then they talk about their work experience, tell about my projects or experiences, how my experience align with the role they are hiring. Very good. Talking about your projects. Very, very important here. We'll come to it. So the first thing that you need to mention here is your name. And the common mistake that I've seen the candidates doing is, hi, myself, Arun Kumar. For example, the candidate is Arun. Hi, myself, Arun Kumar. How many of you start your introduction like this? Hi, myself, Meena, or hi, myself, Gaurav. If you are doing that, starting your introduction with myself, stop doing that right away. That is a big no-no. Talking about experiences, yes, very, very true. You need to share your experiences, especially the positive experiences, where you have. Yes, good. So we should never start with myself, Shilpa Jain, because myself is a reflexive pronoun. That is incorrect. You have to give it a very strong start by saying, hi, my name is so and so. Like I'll take my name only. Hi, my name is Shilpa Jain. After that, most of the candidates, they forget to tell me where they are from. And for an interviewer, it becomes really very difficult to take a decision that after hiring you, where should I give you a job? Should I give you a job in Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, or Chennai? Because you haven't mentioned where are you from. So the second important information that you need to include is where are you from? Name, and then where are you from? After that, and again, a big no-no is your family details. Yes, the interviewer, they want to know you, but they don't want to know you personally. They want to know you professionally. So your family is not going to impress them, is not going to influence them in any way. So until and unless asked for, please don't include your family details here. Like I live in a nuclear family, there are four members in my family, my father is doing this, my mother is doing that. No need. Family details are a big no-no here. Then you have to mention after your name and where are you from, you need to mention your academic qualification. Again, a big mistake. Academic qualification, please, if you want to include your schooling, you can do that. But as a coach, I recommend that you should just talk about your latest degree. Like if it is graduation, talk about that. If it is post-graduation, you can talk about that. Even if you include your schooling, it's completely your choice. But as a mentor or as a coach, I would not recommend that. Another big mistake that the candidates do here is, I've completed my BTech or I've completed my graduation from so and so university with a CGPA of 8.6. That is written in your resume, the percentage. Please don't complicate it by including your marks, percentage, CGPA. All they want to know is what is your highest qualification, from where you have completed, and if you are a very recent graduate, please include the year also in 2022. But if you see that you have graduated in 2018 and you don't have any work experience in the middle, don't mention your graduation year. There it becomes, yeah, okay, good. After that, we need to talk about work experience. If you guys are experienced, talk about your work experience. And some of the candidates here, they say, ma'am, I have a work experience, but it is not related to the technical field. How many of you face this problem? First of all, I would like to know how many of you here are freshers and how many of you have work experience. If you are a fresher, type in F. If you are experienced, please type E in the chat box, so that it would be easy for me to cater to your needs. If you are freshers, please type in F. If you are experienced, please type in E here. I cannot see any messages pouring in. Fresher, Anis says, okay. What about others? Are you freshers? But from fresher, but technical background. Okay. Fresher. Okay, so I assume that I'll be covering both for freshers also and for work experience also. Okay, so if you're a fresher, obviously you must have done certain internships. If you haven't done internships also, then in that case, talk about the courses that you are enrolled in right now to upgrade yourself or to upskill yourself. And if you're a work experience, do include it. It doesn't matter whether it is from IT background or not. You must have learned something from that experience. Correct? Even if you were teaching students, include it here. You know, I've seen most of my candidates that, ma'am, I was taking tuitions, but what is the use of including it here? It will fill that gap that you were not doing anything. No, you were doing anything, and then align it. You know, after completing my graduation for the last 1.5 years, I was teaching students, and that really helped me to develop my communication skills. Give a learning that you have learned from your work experience, even if it is related or not related. And when you're talking about the internships, please mention the duration of the internship and from where you have done this internship. That is a very vital information that needs to be known here. Fresher. Okay, most of us here are freshers. Okay. Then you have started with your name. You told me where are you from. Then you included your academic qualification. Then you mentioned your work experience. If you're not experienced, then you'll talk about the internships and the projects that you're enrolled in. Now what comes? See, I'll assume that most of you are trying to apply for technical jobs. So here, what is your skill set? Do you know Java? Do you know C++? Do you know HTML? What are your technical skills? That needs to be highlighted here. Okay. If you're on the same page with me till here, I want a yes from you guys. A Y or a yes. If everything is clear till work experience, or if you have any questions, please post it in the chat box so that I can address it. Any questions that you guys are facing, I would be more than willing to address them. Keep posting them in the chat box. One of the best teacher, Kushagra Singh Sisodia. Thank you so much, Kushagra. Yes, okay. That it really made my day hearing this from you. Yes. Okay, we all are on the same page. So we'll continue from here. After explaining your skills that I'm good at Java, I'm good at C++, that is all theoretical knowledge here. Now you have to let the interviewer know that you don't only believe in gaining theoretical knowledge. I'm so sorry, it was like a tongue twister for me. Apologize me. Yeah, please pardon me for that. So yes, you don't only believe in acquiring knowledge, you also believe in practically implementing that knowledge. So what is the best way? Anish says, agree with Kushagra. Thank you so much again. So yes, how can you let the interviewer know that I don't only believe in acquiring theoretical knowledge, I believe in practical implementation? How can you let the interviewer know? I want an answer from you guys. And I'm not going to move forward until and unless I get an answer for this. If you don't know, just write ID no. Oh, I'm using, abbreviated form. I'm very bad at this. How can you let the interviewer know that you don't only believe in acquiring knowledge, that means gaining knowledge and just keeping it stored here, but you believe in implementing that? What is the best way to let the interviewer know this? Projects, Gaurav says. Very good, Gaurav. Projects. And they are the highlight. So I've seen, again, I'm talking from my experience, like I've interviewed more than 1,000 candidates here. And from my experience, I'm telling you that they'll just say that I have worked on certain projects. To practically implement my knowledge, I've worked on certain projects. No. Okay, I will know. Okay, I have a question. I completed web development, present, have any interview calls. Prashant, I'm not the right person for this. The right people will get in contact with you that if they have any interview calls or not. I'm so sorry, I'm not the right person for this. Showing projects, Abdul Singh. Yes. But what are the three minimum information that you guys should be including to highlight your project is? Very simple. Don't make it complicated. Don't go into technicalities. All that you need to say here is, number one, the name of the project. What is the name of the project? Number two, I will know. Okay, I have a, okay, sorry, I'll take Sunil's question first. I have an education gap, 8 years, but I am in certificate course. Recently, I'm applying for jobs and not, okay. I think what I got from your message, Sunil, is that you have a gap, like you completed your graduation 8 years back and you are now applying for the job. It would be really helpful for me to if you can let me know in the chat box that why was this gap? What have you been doing this 8 years? You told me that certificate course, okay. But other than that, did you work anywhere or why was such a long gap? Because here, what you can say is that I've completed my graduation. What if they ask about family background? One time they asked me, good, that is what I added a line here to answer guardian helmet. Okay. What if they ask about family details? That is why I added a line there. Please don't include your family details until and unless asked for. See, every interviewer has different perspective. Correct? If they ask for the family details, do give them your family details. Correct? But if they're not asking it, then including family details, again, I told you, they want to know you, but they want to know you professionally and not personally. I have 2 backlogs, but I am much interested in working it. Okay. So how you can phrase this is that I have completed my graduation in so and so year. And sorry, what's the other question? Family background. Okay. So whenever you have to address a career gap, how do you do that? No problem, because career gaps can be due to, I'll address it, I'll take it, I'll generalize it, and I'll be giving your answer, Sunil. No worries, I'm here on it. See, if there is a career gap of maybe 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever it may be, you must have been doing something. Whatever you have been doing, own it up. Like some students, they tell me, ma'am, I was preparing for my government examinations. And if I tell them that I was preparing for my government examinations, it would create a negative impression on the interviewer. But there is a way how you put it. After completing my graduation, I was preparing for my government examinations. But during that process, I realized that my passion lied in the IT industry. Give them the reason why you are passionate. Maybe you were introduced to coding and now you have started enjoying coding. And a very honest answer like, I was passionate because of the ample growth opportunities. That also goes down really well with the interviews. There's no harm in saying that what I've been doing, I see that there are better career opportunities there. Even the interviewer is looking for a better career opportunity in his life. Correct? Everybody, we all are doing that. So there is no harm in addressing it. And this is how you can frame your gap by saying that while doing this particular thing, I realized my passion for the IT industry. And in order to upskill myself, I joined so and so course. And if you haven't joined any course, is it necessary that you have to mention an expertise during introduction, or I have to mention during technical round? Mention expertise. What kind of expertise are you talking about, Rehan? If you could be more specific, I would help you with that. expertise, like what kind? Okay, I have 2 backlogs, but I'm very interested in working in IT field, and I have good communication skills and many other skills regarding Excel, Word. Use it to your power. See, this is the agenda of it. चलो सब भूल जाते हैं. We'll start from the very beginning. ठीक है? Thank you, ma'am Sunil. Thank you so much, Sunil. Please keep pouring your queries, and then it would be interactive, and I'll be able to cater to all to your needs. Believe me, guys, experience counts. So keep pouring in your queries, and I'll do good. But till now, what we have done is that name, where are you from, then your academic qualification. Academic qualification, please don't mention the percentage marks in CGPAs. Then if you have a work experience, talk about the work experience. If you don't have work experience, talk about your internships, talk about the projects that you have worked on during your college days. Okay? After that, you need to mention your technical skills. After that, you need to mention your projects, and please remember to include the name, the purpose, and the text used in the project. Don't just name the projects. That is not going to go very well with the interview. I want to see that you have a practical knowledge of it. So tell them that I created this project to, in 1 or 2 lines, explain the purpose of the project, and towards the end, tell them I used Java, C++ to work on this particular project. And after that, you need to talk about your achievements. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a pleasure helping you guys. If I can help you guys, that is really, going to give me a lot of motivation and put in more hard work. Just a second. I think I missed it. Yeah, sorry. We'll go ahead. After you have mentioned your projects, now remember the question that I asked you earlier. What is the difference between technical rounds and HR rounds? And most of you gave me the right answer that it is your soft skills. So try to include some soft skills here. How you can do that? You can talk about your achievements. Like if you're working, if you have received any certificates or best employee award or anything like that, or if your company trusted you with a kind of, a very responsible project, do include it here. But the problem comes with the freshers. Ma'am, what do I say here? I'm not working. Any idea? Can anybody help me? If you are a fresher, what can you include in your achievements? Let's see what you guys think here. For work, experienced people, it is easy to include the experience. Okay, Sampath says, Madam, I request you to clear my doubt. Okay, what is the doubt of the Sampath? I'm sorry, Sampath, if I missed it, but I'll see to it. I have 2 backlogs, but I'm very interested in working in IT field, and I have good communication skills and many other regarding excellent MS Word. So what is the doubt here, Sampath? Bacha, I would like to know that what is the doubt? It is a good thing that you have very good communication skills and other things. So what is the doubt here? What you want me to address here? That is not clear. Please write that in the chat box. Now, for a fresher, what could be the achievements? In your school days, in your college days, if you have been like most of the candidates, when I ask them, then they say, ma'am, I have taken part in hackathon. And I was like, pehle kyun nahi bataya? Achievement in school and college, very good. Prashant says technical round will be technical about technical skills. HR round will soft skills, I think. Yes, Prashant, soft skills. But here, that is the reason I told you that since it is an HR round, we need to include certain soft skills. And that can be done regarding job purpose. Regarding job purpose, can I get the job? Yes, you can get the job. Who said you can't get the job? Hackathon competition. Very good, Abdul. If you are a fresher, you can talk about the... First, I'll address Sampath's question. Sampath, why are you doubtful that will you get the job or will you not get the job? If you prepare yourself well, if you attend this kind of sessions and if you prepare yourself well and if your technical skills are good, why can't you get a job? There is no doubt about it. Correct? Internships, achievements in school and college. Yes, very good. Internships during school and college, you may have taken part in debate. You may, so if you have taken part in debate, logical reasoning, decision making skills, those are highlighted. And I told you, HR rounds is more about soft skills. So please and please include your achievements here. And last but not the least, if you guys want to include your hobbies, like I don't, I don't recommend that use your hobbies. But if you feel that no, ma'am, I want to tell them about my hobby, then align your hobbies to the job description. Like I would like to know, what are your hobbies? Please type in the chat box. What do you like to do? Waiting for your responses. What are your hobbies? Would like to see responses here so that I can align it. Like people say, ma'am, how can I align this particular hobby to the job description? We can align anything to the job description. We should know how to do that. So for that, you guys will have to type in. Just 1 second. I think I'm facing a problem with the chat box here. Just 1 second, guys. Sorry, guys, just bear with me for a minute. In the meantime, please write in the chat box, what are your hobbies? I'm waiting for that. What are your hobbies? It's a technical glitch. Please be there with me. Yeah, I think it's active now. Sweksha, if you are there, I'm facing an issue in the live chat. I'm not able to see the messages pouring in. Okay, my hobbies are, yes, now it is there. I'm so sorry. My hobbies are reading books. Okay, reading books, cooking, to watch movies. Okay, good. So if you just tell the interviewer that I like reading books, it may or may not impress the interviewer. Correct? But if you say that I like reading books and that really helps me to increase my knowledge. Correct? Watching Instagram, obviously this cannot be aligned. Okay, Instagram, what kind of reels do you watch on Instagram? Is it related to your work? Is it related to, the technical skills, or just random scrolling of the screen? If that is the case, in that case, obviously this hobby cannot be aligned to the job description. But if you say that I like traveling, again, it is not going to impress the interviewer. But if you say that I like traveling and that gives me an opportunity to interact with new people and learn from them, definitely it would impress the interviewer. Correct? I like painting and that really helps me to enhance my creative skills. That really helps me to think creatively. Again, creativity, that is needed. Adaptability. If you like traveling, you are adapting to new people, adapting with new situations. That is how you have to align your hobbies. Okay. So quick recap, start with your name, never use myself, then where are you from, then your academic qualification, no marks, no percentage needed there. Singing, a very good activity. So you can say that I really enjoy singing and that is the biggest stress buster for me. So when you use the word stress buster, the interviewer is assured that, okay, the entire day he would be working hard here. He'll go back home, he'll listen to the music, rejuvenate himself, and come back to the work the next day with a lot of energy. Correct? So align it to the job description. That is what I mean to say. Just mentioning your hobbies is not going to help. But if you align it to the job description, definitely it is going to help you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So yes, is introduction clear? I was giving a recap. Name, where are you from, academic qualification, personal work experience. Work experience here means internship for freshers, then your skills, then how do you implement it practically. So talk about your projects, then your achievements and hobbies if you want to improve. So if you guys have understood this, we can quickly move towards the next question in this case. I want to see a yes if you have understood it. If you have any doubts, do post them in the chat box. Either ways. Next, ma'am. Okay, good. So we'll move to the next question, a very common question. What are your strengths? And here again, I have seen a common mistake that as soon as I ask a candidate, what are your strengths? They'll mention their strengths and then mention their weakness also. Why? Here it was an opportunity for you to tell them how you're a good fit for the company. And by mentioning your weakness, you're ruining it. So again, like family details, don't tell them until and unless they ask for. Weakness also, please don't mention until and unless the interviewer asks you to mention your weakness. If they're talking about your strengths, just focus on your strength. And believe me, this is a chance to show the interviewer that you are self-aware. You know about yourself. Self-awareness is very, very important here, guys. I have seen the people saying that, ma'am, what do we need to do before going to the interview? Ma'am, I've already researched on the company. Is there anything else that I need to work on? Yes. Other than the company, you need to research on something. And what is that something? It is you. You need to create self-awareness because in HR rounds, all the questions would be related to you, your personality. So a self-research or self-awareness is very, very important here. Okay. So now, when they ask you about your strengths, again, many people say that, ma'am, I'm very good at time management. Okay, you are good at time management. And some responses, ma'am, I'm very detailed oriented. I'm a team player. I'm flexible. I'm dedicated. So and so and so and so. Here, you know what happens, Pecha? It sounds like you have picked up some good words from the internet and you are just blurting it out. Okay. To give you an example, imagine you all are the interviewers. Now we are going to do a role play here. Here, you would be performing the role of an interviewer and two candidates would be coming to you. Shilpa 1 and Shilpa 2. You guys have to tell me which one you are going to hire based on the answer to this question. Forget about everything else, just this question. Okay. So my first question for you, like the first candidate tells you, Shilpa 1. This is the response of Shilpa 1. I'm very good at time management. Now Shilpa 2 comes and tells you, I'm taking care of my family also. I'm working as an interview coach in AccioJob. I'm also associated with other platforms and I constantly like to work on myself and upgrade myself. And I'm able to do that because of my time management skills. Now, which candidate are you guys going to hire? I need a response and I'm not going to move forward until and unless I get Shilpa 1 or Shilpa 2. Who are you going to hire? First, Shilpa 1 said that I'm very good at time management. Finished. And Shilpa 2 said that I'm doing this, and I'm doing this, and I'm able to manage all of them because of my time management skills. Yes. Shilpa 2 second. And what was the reason behind it, Abdul? Why would you hire Shilpa 2 and not Shilpa 1? Shilpa 2, okay. So most of the candidates are going to hire Shilpa 2. Shilpa 1 is heartbroken here. Shilpa 2. Okay, but why Shilpa 2? I'll give you the reason. Shilpa 1 just mentioned her strengths. Shilpa 2, okay. I'm so happy that I'm selected by so many of you guys. My job is confirmed now. Okay, jokes apart, what was the difference between Shilpa 1 and Shilpa 2? Let us understand. Shilpa 1 just mentioned her strength, while Shilpa 2 related it with a real life example. Okay, so I hope that in future you guys will not make this mistake and tell them, my strength is this, a list of 4-5 strengths. No, if you want, stick to just one or stick to just two, but do justice to it. She was giving a clear picture, just not throwing some info. Very good, Abdul. She was not just throwing some information, she explained it, she elaborated it. Just ask a question. If I am good at this, why do I feel I'm good at this? And that needs to be shared with the interviewer. I hope it is clear because she is workaholic, right? Oh my God. Relating herself with real points. Very good. Relating herself with the real life examples. That is what impresses the interviewer. Because here in this situation, when you relate it to a real life example, the interviewer is very clear that these are not just some random words that the candidate has picked up from the internet. He is backing it up with a real life incident. That means he really has this quality. Okay. Mentioning and correct related explanation. Yes. First mentioning the strength and then relating it, that how I have been using it. So any doubts in strengths, or can we move forward towards the next question? If we have got how to it, just remember, not just the strength. Why do I feel I have this strength? Relate it to a real life example and it would be good too. Yes, can we move forward to the next question? Waiting for your responses. Okay. So we'll move towards the next slide. And now I'm asking you, what is your weakness? As soon as I ask this question, what is your weakness? And the candidate starts with, one of my weakness is I am not good at this. Okay, whatever it may be. One of my weakness is I'm not good at this. How many strengths should we mention then? This is what I said, Shaurav. If you really feel you have those strengths, 2. If you feel that no, I will not be able to do justice and explain it in a real life situation, 1. Okay. 2 is the ideal number of strengths that you guys should be mentioning, but remember to back up both your strengths with real life example. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. So what happens? One of my weakness is so and so. One of my. This gives an impression that you have many weaknesses and out of that you are highlighting one weakness. Never ever do that. Because for strength, yay, I can see a thumbs up. So yes, a thumbs up for you, Raja again. So when we are talking about our strengths, 2, or if you feel you can do justice, 3. Okay. But when they ask you about your weakness, please restrict to one weakness. Don't tell them I'm not good at this. And after that, I'm also not good at this. What is the purpose of the interview? To impress the interviewer. And by giving away so many negative qualities about you, you are influencing him not to hire you. Correct? So the golden rule is strict to one weakness. Never ever start with one of my weakness is. So how can we say that? And I just read somewhere very recently that instead of the word weakness, we can use a very good word, area of improvement. I will never mention my weakness, ES. Okay. ES. Can you be more specific? If it is a, abbreviated form that you guys use in chatting in WhatsApp, I'm so sorry, I'm not used to that. So I would want to know that what do you mean by ES? I will never mention my weakness. Okay, sorry. I will never mention my weaknesses. Sorry, I'm really sorry, Raja. I goofed up because see, this is what grammatical errors, spelling mistakes, and spaces can do. Okay. Yes, you should not mention your weakness and your strengths, but when they ask you about your weakness, you cannot go and tell them, sorry, boss, I don't have any weakness. This shows that either you are not self-aware. We all are human beings. Even I am not perfect, you are not perfect, nobody is perfect. If we would have been perfect, we would have been gods and saints, We are not that. We are human beings. So we all have our own set of weaknesses and we have to own it up, but there is a way of owning it up. Number one, mention only one weakness. And after mentioning the weakness, what happens? If you say that I'm not very good at my communication skills, interviewer would feel that, okay, no, I need communication skills in my company, so I'm not going to hire him. Okay, so what do we do? The second important point is if you are aware of your weakness, you should have started working on it. है ना? कुछ गलतियां होती है तो उसे हम सुधारते हैं. So similarly, once you're aware of your weakness, after telling about our weakness, we need to tell them how we will be improving it. Very good, Shaurabh. This was the response that I was looking for. That just mentioning the weakness is not important or is not complete in itself. That is going to create a negative impression of you on the interview. So the first thing is, I am not very good at, let's take an example, communication skills. But I'm trying to improve it, okay? And very good. I really liked, Abdul, that you have written, I'm trying to improve it by X, Y, Z. That means the steps that you are taking. And I'll come to it. Very good, Abdul. You are really helping me to conduct the session here. Thank you so much. So yes, your weakness. For example, let's take any weakness. I'm not a very organized person. Okay. So I'll say that I'm not a very organized person, but I am aware that this is affecting my productivity or this is affecting my efficiency. So I have already started working on it. Till here, it is okay. I'm started working on it. Now also tell them what are you doing to work on it. Okay. So imagine if I am disorganized, what would I do? Maybe I'll go to the local market and buy some organizers for myself. I'll clean my table. I'll clear my inbox. That is also, this I'm very bad at technology, clearing my inbox and everything. So, but yes, I'm learning to do that. So you have to also tell them what are you doing to work on it. Very, very important. Sometimes I just get the response, my weakness is this, but right now I'm working on it. What are you doing to work on it? That also needs to be mentioned, your action plan, correct? That I'm doing so things. And now one very important point. But I'm trying to improve my, okay. One very important, Raja has given me a smiley. Okay, thank you so much, Raja. So yes, what I was talking about is that after mentioning your weakness, the action plan, then what? The icing on the cake would be if you can come up with a positive result. I'm not saying that, tell them that I've completely overcome my problem. Okay. Tell them that after following these steps, I'm able to see a tremendous change in myself. So now they'll get to know that you're not only somebody who likes to work hard, you are somebody who knows how to work smart because the results are there. The company is not bothered how much you're working, how you're working, for how long you're working. They are just bothered with the results, correct? Ma'am, we all are not perfect, but why we will mention our weakness to interview, okay? I think we're trying to ask that we are not perfect, but still, why should we mention our weakness to our interview? Good question. The question is, the interviewer has asked to mention your weakness. And here at this point, you cannot say that I have no weakness. That is a big no-no. It shows that either you're not self-aware, or you're a very dishonest person, or you don't know how to own up your mistakes. Correct? So the right way to deal with this situation is just tell them the weakness, tell them you have started working on it, the steps, what are you doing to work on it, and finally try to come up with a positive result. To give you an example, like let's say communication skills. I'm not very good at my communication skills, and I know this is very important to excel in my career. So I've already started working on it. I've started taking so and so classes. I've started practicing on Duolingo. Now I take an initiative and go and interact with people. And this has really helped me, sir. I have really become, I've really started mastering my communication skills. This is how you have to format it. Now, even if the biggest mistake, if you tell them that you're working on it, you're trying to overcome it, it will no longer be your weakness. You are handling it very smartly here. Yes, okay. To show that I'm not perfect, but I am able to overcome any challenge like my weakness. Great again. See, why are they asking you this question? First place, let us understand the mindset of the interviewer. Why is he asking me this question? To be honest, he's not interested in your weakness. What he wants to know is, if I hire you and if you face any problems in my organization, obviously when we join a new organization, there are a lot of problems that we face, a lot of challenges. So would you just sit with your problem and crib about it? Or would you start working on it, and by showing a positive result, that shows that you will be able to overcome it? Correct? That is the reason they are asking you. And in this way, when you, use this formula that I've given you, weakness, working on it, what am I doing? That is the steps, and the positive result. You are giving them an impression that, boss, whatever challenges you give me, I'll work on it and I'll give you the results. Ma'am, do we need to be very honest while telling about your weakness? Shaurav, a very good question. See, I won't tell you that you should lie in an interview, but yes, fabrication little bit is allowed. Now, what is fabrication? Like, okay, what is fabrication? Fabrication means like you cannot tell them that I have huge anger issues. For example, if you have anger issues, correct? You cannot go and tell them that I have huge anger issues. No company would hire you in that case. So what can you do? How can you phrase this? Any ideas like anger issues? If you have real anger issues and you want to be honest with the interviewer, how would you frame it? Yes. Any ideas, guys? If you have anger issues, I know you cannot use it. So how would you frame it to the interviewer? Sorry. Okay. In this way, you can say that, there are times when I lose my patience, but I'm already started working on it because it used to have a negative impact on my relationships. But now, before reacting, I take a moment. I think about what I have to say, and in this way, I'm able to control my emotions to a great extent. So you did not lie, but you fabricated things a little bit. I hope it is clear, Shaurav, that you don't have to be dishonest. Fabricating things a little bit would help you. Practicing on meditation, yoga, overthinking, anger. Yes, that is how you're working on it. But instead of saying that I have anger issues, I am doing, I tend to lose my emotions, or I have a little, less control over my emotions, but I'm working on it. Now, before reacting, or I'm very straightforward. Instead of anger issues, you can also use the word I'm a very straightforward person. But I know that sometimes it affects my relationship with other people. So right at the moment, I'm practicing yoga, I'm doing meditation. I take some time before I say something, think and say. This is the practice that I've started adapting. And in this way, I'm able to control my emotions to a great extent. Done. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Thank you so much. Sure. Moving towards to the next question. Oh, time flies. It's already 9:30. Moving towards the next question. A very, very crucial question. Where do you see yourself in the coming 5 years? I want you to type in your responses here. Where do you see yourself? I'm always high on energy. Okay. Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you so much. So, yes, I want you guys to type in how would you like, where do you see yourself in the coming 5 years? Waiting for your responses. Where do you see yourself in the coming 5 years? Where do you see yourself in the coming 5 years? I'll start. Like, what is the biggest mistake that I've noticed in the candidates? They'll come and tell me like they're applying for ABCD company as the CEO of your company, working in your company, company owner. Sure, if you say that I want to be the CEO of the company, it would put you in the light that you are over ambitious. Correct? Please don't mention. And what if the person who's interviewing you, Shaurabh, this is for your question, for your response. What if the person who's interviewing you is the CEO himself? Wouldn't it sound to him like, I want to take your position? And it may not go down well with him. So the biggest and the best tip for to handle this question is number one, do not mention any specific post. Because if you say that I want to be the team manager, what if I see you at a higher post? Correct? And if you mention a position, the other person who's interviewing you holds the same position, again, it may not go down well with them. So avoid mentioning in your company. Very good. In your company are the key words. See, I tell the golden words. I've also written in my slide the golden words in your company. Because first we need to understand why is the interviewer asking you this question. What is that one thing that he wants to know? He wants to know, are you loyal towards the company or not? Your longevity with the company. Because when a company hires a new employee, they spend a lot of time, money, energy, and resources in training that employee. And if you show any symptoms that, I'll work here for 1 or 2 years, I'll gain the experience, and then I want to join so and so company, that is my dream company, I would say, please go and join that company and take training from that company. I don't want to hire you. Correct? So how to handle this question? Number one, do not mention any specific post. Then what can we mention now? You can mention that I want to see myself in a responsible position. I want to see myself in a technically sound position. I want to see myself in a better position than where I am today. And after that, please add some golden words like with more knowledge, more experience, and more skills. Don't mention that specific position, but focus on what you would like to gain in this 5 years. Okay? For example, I want to see myself in a responsible position in your company with more knowledge, experience, and skill. Correct? So here, now what you have done is you have just mentioned your goal that I want to be here. That even a 8-year-old child can also do. Even if you ask him, what do you want to be when you grow up? He'll tell you, I want to be a doctor. Correct? How many of you have asked from children what do they want to be, and they'll give you one answer one day, second answer the next day, today doctor, tomorrow engineer, third teacher. Correct? Why? Because they don't have any plans that how am I going to achieve my goal. They're too young for that. But here at your level, some kind of maturity is expected. So what you have to do in this scenario is that once you mention your goal that you want to be in a senior position or a responsible position, then tell them what are the qualities that you have that will help you to achieve your goal. Talk about your strengths here. Okay. Ma'am, can we show our entrepreneurial skill interest with them, with your company? Okay. Can we show our entrepreneurial interest with them? Sorry, Shaurabh, again, can you be a bit specific? Like, what are you trying? Are you trying to tell me that? Okay, please rephrase your question in a better way so that it is, so that I can understand it and I can address it as well, Shaurabh. Yeah. In the meantime, I was talking that goal. Then talk about your existing qualities. What are the qualities that you have that will help you to achieve that? And third, and the most important point, always show a desire to upgrade yourself, to upskill yourself. That is very, very important, because if I am the interviewer, if it is my company, I would love to have people who constantly believe in upgrading themselves. In that case, I will consider, even if there is another candidate who has better technical skills than him, I would prefer to hire the second candidate because he has shown me that he wants to upgrade himself, he wants to improve himself, and with constant hard work, he would do that one day. Okay. So again, a quick recap of this particular question. Where do you see yourself in the coming 5 years? Start with a goal. I want to be in a responsible position in your company with a lot of knowledge, experience, and skills. Second point was talk about your strengths. As I've already told you, like since you have mentioned your strengths, as I've already told you that I'm a great team player, I'm sure this quality will really help me to achieve my goal. Then the third point was your desire to learn new skills. Not only that, sir, I will be constantly upgrading my skill and upskilling myself. And if there are any specific qualities mentioned in the job description, any skills that are mentioned, do include it here to make your answer even more specific. Okay. So here you can tell them goal, strengths, and then what are you ready to do to achieve your goal. So when you present your answer in this particular manner, they know that you're passionate about your goal and you will be able to achieve your goal. Discipline, ma'am. Okay, discipline is your strength. I'm so sorry. Discipline your strength, you can use it. That I lead my life in a very disciplined manner, and I'm sure with this quality of mine, I will be able to achieve my goal. Great point. Any doubts in this question? But remember, the golden words are in your company. You have to use the 3 golden words. If yes, now I would like to, there are many more slides, but okay. One last thing that I would like to tell you guys here is that, just 1 second, there is a question that is asked towards the end of every interview. Are there any questions for us? Respect, ma'am. Okay. Okay. So yes, now let's come to the last question, because then we have to cover a mock also. So if they ask you, are there any questions for us? Please do not say that, no, I don't have any questions. Never do that, because that would show that either you are very underconfident or you're not interested and passionate about that role. And it doesn't mean that now Shilpa ma'am has told me to ask certain questions, I'll ask them anything. If they've already covered that in the interview, don't repeat yourself and make a fool of yourself. That would show that you were not actively listening. So what you can do is, then in this scenario, if you cannot think of any question, just ask them for a feedback. And how you can do that? Yes, sir, I would like to know that. Is there anything that I need to work on myself to make myself better? If yes, I'm more than willing to work on it. Again, it would create a very, very positive impact on the interviewer. Believe me, guys. Okay. So with this, I would like to call Sweksha, because we have already learned, how to answer the questions. And if we can show that practically, that would be really great. So I would love to ask about my role in the team. The question from Abdul is, ask about my role in the team. How would I convey my skills to the team? Okay, I think you're trying to ask me that if they ask you about your any teamwork, what are the qualities that you can highlight here? Okay, in that case, what you have to do is, number one, whenever they ask you any question related to teamwork, think what is necessary to make a teamwork successful. Chat has been removed. Just 1 second, guys. Yeah, I was telling you that what are the things that you can include that makes a teamwork successful. Effective communication, motivating each other, learning from each other's experiences, right allocation of the task, taking initiative. These are the points that you can include here. Now, Sweksha, I would request you.
Yes, Shilpa, I am absolutely ready.
Okay. So if we can just turn on the camera, guys, we are moving towards the mock session. Okay, as planned. So whatever we have learned, we will try. And let me tell you, Sweksha is really amazing at giving answers. But today she's going to fake and give me some answers which I usually receive from candidates, so that we can work on the mistakes and even you guys get to know what are the common mistakes made by the candidate. So are we ready, Sweksha?
Absolutely, I am ready, but is the audience ready? Guys, can we have some hype here? Are you guys ready? It's important that you guys need to be ready.
Yes, let's see if we get a yes from them.
Before moving on to that, Shilpa, is it possible for you to stop sharing the screen? I believe because the deck is done, I believe, right?
Oh, sorry. It's already done that. Thank you.
Yes, fine. Right. Okay. So, guys, are you ready? I am typing in a big ready in the chat box. In fact, to be very honest, I'm not as confident as I show right now. Because, okay, hello Rameshwar, how are you? Because I think I am nervous, to be honest. Right now, it's the confidence before you get messed up.
She's
Let me be honest.
trying to be modest here, nothing else.
Right. Okay. Good. All right. What about the rest of the people still waiting for your responses? Are you guys ready for this Amazon mock interview where Shilpa would be asking me a few questions? I would be answering them. They would be very spontaneous, to be very honest. I would be very honest. And she would be telling how it could have been answered better than I already did. So, Harshi, Pamela, Nitin, and Irfan, Pamela, Kavya, Pallavi, Umera, Rameshwar, and Harshit. Are you guys ready for this? Still waiting? Okay. All right. So, Neil says yes. All right. Got it, guys. So let's just move on, Shilpa. Let's just continue with this Amazon mock interview session now. Okay. Before that, Nitin is asking a question. Oh, how to make negative thoughts into positive thoughts.
I have to plan a different session for it because, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. First of all, positivity is something that is within you, though it is not my arena. It is something related to, counseling kind of things. But yes, negative thoughts, let them go. Your life is like a jar. If you fill it with golf balls, it would be filled with negative thoughts. And you would feel there is no space left for it. Try filling it with water. Golf balls would come out and, go away from the jar. To overcome negative thoughts, bring more positivity in your life. I think that is the best answer that I can give it.
I think that is a beautiful answer, Shilpa.
Thank you. Yes. So
Correct.
are we ready for the mock section?
Yes, absolutely ready for the mock.
Okay. So I'm confused. What should be my first question?
The interviewer is not supposed to be asking that. All right. Me
Not
too, ma'am.
yeah. We all know that the first question is the interview, and as I told you, this is the most important question and it sets the tone for the rest of the interview. Okay, Sweksha? So, all the best, and Sweksha, please introduce yourself.
Okay, so myself, Swechha, and I had graduated in 2021. I pursued Bachelor's of Management Studies, and in 12th, I got 94 percentage. So I come from, I have been born and brought up in Delhi, and I have my mom at my home and my rabbits, because I prefer animals more than humans. And I think my hobbies are hanging out with friends and traveling and watching anime. So that would be really fun. But apart from that, I also like to learn new things on a regular basis. So that has also helped me to, be where I am today, to be very honest, because I cannot really do anything if I'm not liking it. Right? So that was pretty much it from my end. That was me.
Okay, Sweksha. First of all, I would like to say that energy was bang on. I really love the energy with which you presented the answer. But yes, guys, now I need to know from you guys. It would be like a recap also. What are the
Exactly.
major mistakes that Sweksha did?
So I did that on purpose. What do you think? Where all, what all things could have been improved?
Yes,
What do you
I
think?
would like to know from the audience here if they can give me some reasons and help me with the mock interviews. What went wrong in Sweksha's answer? She started with myself and not my name is Abdul. You observed my session really well. You were an active listener. Good job. Never ever start your introduction with myself. Anything else? Anything else? What are the other errors noticed?
Many times.
And is
Which
you?
is correct.
Yes, it is also correct. Anything else? See, I told you that I want to know a person, but I don't want to know them personally. I wanted to know you professionally, Swaksha. Correct? Percentage mentioned. Wow, very good. Another good point to observe that she mentioned the percentages. Very good. Anything else? Okay. So I'll try to correct you, Swaksha. First of all, if I would have, wanted to know you personally, then this introduction was bang on. If I wanted to be your friend, correct? But here you are applying for an IT firm. So, and you also included your family members, which was a big no-no. What instead of those irrelevant details, you should have filled your introduction with the relevant details. Like, what are your technical skills? If you have any work experience, that would have really influenced me because I would love to hire somebody who's experienced. When I say this, please the freshers, they don't get disheartened because I've given you a trick for that also. If you don't have a work experience, talk about the internships, talk about the courses, talk about everything that you have been doing to upgrade yourself. Family information, yes. At some point, she was stuck for a few seconds. She should have been fluently, okay, fluency. Mahesh, here I would like to add something here. See, you guys are applying for the post of a software developer or something like that. So I don't expect you guys to be very, very perfect in English. It's completely okay. But what I want is that confidence to be exhibited, which I think Sweksha did a wonderful job. I could relate to her. Whatever she was saying, she used her facial expression, she used her body language. That was perfect. Content was not there, and I think the content has already been discussed with the students, and they are well aware that you missed your technical information, technical skills, you missed the projects that you have worked on, maybe during your school or college days, and you forgot to mention your achievements.
Okay, if fun, if can I take this, Shilpa?
Sure, Sweetsha, go ahead.
Got it. So Irfan, if you're specifically talking about which degree is good or bad, to be very honest, I don't personally think it would matter which background you're coming from. What employers really care about is whether or not you have the right kind of skills and whether or not you can do the kind of job that they expect out of you. So it's really in this specific time, in this specific year, it's really all about whether or not you have the right skills. And exactly here at AccioJob, this is what we do. This is the reason why we welcome everyone, be it from tech, non-tech. We welcome every student out there, even if they have a career gap or educational gap. We want the users to, we want the tech aspirants to get the right kind of skills and offer the right kind of skills, put them to the table for the employers and get their dream tech job. So it really doesn't matter whether you've done MCA or MBA or pharma, LLB, doesn't matter.
Okay, I
I
hope.
hope that answers.
So can we move forward towards the next question, Sweksha?
Absolutely, absolutely. But one more thing. So, just to add to the point that you just mentioned, right, that while the other person, someone just commented that I was getting stuck a lot. One more point I would like to add is that sometimes there's a very thin line, but sometimes it also shows that you are someone who wouldn't just blabber anything out. You are thinking about it. And also the point that she mentioned that I was being confident while I was still thinking, right? So imagine if I would have said, and my family, imagine this kind of a body language. So it shows that I am being nervous, whether or not I'm nervous, whether I'm confident, am I thinking or am I just saying anything, whatever is coming on my mind. So it's also important, even though you learn that content delivery is very important, how you say whatever you're saying is important, but at the same time, what you're saying is also considered.
Yes, like that is again important point, and that is the reason I told you I could relate to your answer, taking into consideration your energy. You were feeling what you were saying, and that really touched me. But yes, the content, and I think we have got a lot of comments here. What should be the right content? That means they are already clear on this, Swetsha. Yes, I got it. Now I
Correct.
understand. Okay. So yes. So my next question for you, Swetsha, and I think we'll have to take this as the last question for the day today.
I
Yes.
think we do have like 4 or 5 minutes. We can take more time, I believe.
Okay. In that case, the next question for you is how do you handle criticism?
How do I handle criticism?
Yes.
I like to see criticism. I like to first of all understand where the other person is coming from. I like to understand, why they are behaving the way they are behaving. If they're complaining about something, why are they complaining? Because if they wouldn't have anything to do with it, they wouldn't be complaining. Why would they invest their energy in it, right? And secondly, what I try to do is I try to look on a more positive side of it, that if I'm failing, if someone is pointing out something in me, nobody is perfect, I have this opportunity to improve myself, to take that criticism and actually work on myself. So this is how you turn the negative thing into positive thing. It's your emotions and how you view life. This is what I think I would handle criticism.
Okay, very good. Here, Sweksha showed a desire that she's open to learning. She would take criticism very positively and she would reflect on herself and try to work on it. One point. In the same time, she also mentioned that she would be very careful that where the criticism is coming from. Correct, guys? So here you can use good vocabulary like first of all, I would see that if it is constructive criticism or negative criticism. What is the source of the criticism that it is coming from? If it is coming from my mentors or from my seniors, definitely I would work on it, reflect on myself and improve myself. But what happens, Veksha, if somebody who's walking on the road, they tell you, oh, you're not looking good or you're walking this way, change it. Will you do that? Obviously not. Correct? And I think you are such a strong personality that you would not let it affect you also. So this is the basic point that you have to make it clear to the interviewer that first you are going to find out whether it is a constructive criticism or a negative criticism. If it is a constructive criticism, You are open to learning, you will make changes in yourself, and you would, come up with a positive result. And if it is a negative criticism, you will not let it affect you and you will move on. Correct? How many of you agree with this answer? Let's see in the chat box. How many of you agree with the answer that I gave? Or if there are any changes that you want, yeah, nahi ma'am, ye ho sakta tha. Eye contact, yes, I noticed that at times Swiksha was not able to maintain the perfect eye contact. But see, guys, when I say that, I have been telling this in my interviews also. When I say that you need to maintain an eye contact, the candidates they take it negatively and they are like, throughout we need to maintain an eye contact. Then it would be like we're staring at that person. At times, it's okay to look here and there. At times, try to maintain, if you're maintaining the eye contact for 70% of your time, good to go. That is something that you need to take care of. Okay. Eye contact doesn't mean, staring at the person and giving the answer. It's okay when you are natural, when it is spontaneous. At times you look here, and that is very natural and that looks natural also. So make sure 70% of the time if you're maintaining an eye contact, it's a go ahead. Correct, correct, agree, agree, agree. Okay, thank you so much. Now, Sweksha, my next question for you is, if you're working on a project with a tight deadline, how would you handle it?
My question, can I ask a question here?
Sure, go ahead.
Can I assume if I have teammates here?
Yes, you can do that.
Okay, so first of all, regardless of whether or not I have any teammates, in this case, what I'll do is I will first of all prioritize my task. So obviously there would be daily tasks, weekly tasks, monthly tasks. So first of all, I would like to prioritize my tasks, and I would like to put the tasks which are not very important to the side track, and would like to solely focus on whatever is required in the moment. And secondly, I would like to make the process more efficient if there's a tight deadline, right? So there must be a way, not necessarily, but there must be a way through which all the processes could be made more efficient. For example, coordination things and all of that. There's always going to be ways you can optimize the processes. So this is something that I would look forward to. And obviously I would take the help of my teammates as well, so we can together collaborate and together prioritize, and then make sure that the deliverables are being given on time. So these are the 3 pointers that I can think of as of now.
Very good. The 3 pointers included by you is prioritizing the task, which indicates
Right.
time management in one way or the other. Then the
Correct.
strategies that you are going to involve, that is trying to coordinate everything to make the process effective, bang on. Then you also include that here, I will not be a one-man army, that I can do it all. You are
Right.
ready to seek help from others, which is a very, very positive sign. And here you also did not just say that started with I'll take help from my team. That means it shows that you'll try to use your problem solving skills. Still, if you feel that there is something needed, you will not hesitate in taking help from your seniors or your teammates or your manager. One thing that you could have added here, Swiksha, is that whenever you're working on a tight deadline, it is something very related to how do you handle pressure. If I have to rephrase this question, it would be like, how do you handle pressure? Correct?
Right.
So here, when we handle pressure, what is the first and foremost thing that is needed? Guys, can you tell me, if you are handling a situation where there is a lot of pressure, what is the first and foremost thing that we guys need to do? Waiting for
Come
your
on, guys.
yeah.
Please help me out because now I'm clueless. I kind of missed some pointers there.
To be positive, very good. Anybody else? Yes, to be positive. Let us try to be more specific here. Nitin, very good response though, I must say. Anything else that we guys can think of when we are handling pressure? Okay, I'll tell you, Seksha, it is to remain calm and composed. When you are
Right.
calm and composed, only then you will be able to apply the strategies that you have planned. Okay. So whenever a question is asked to you that how do you handle pressure? If there is a tight deadline, how would you handle it? If one of your team members is lagging behind, how would you handle it? Before telling them the strategies, please always start with the first thing that I'm going to do is remain calm and composed, plan my things, scheduling. Yes, your Mahesh has given scheduling. Very good, which he has also included. But this one point, if you include it, again, it creates a very good impact on the interview. So yes, Viksha, if I would have the chance, I would have hired you, I would have loved to have you in my company. So
That's awesome.
now
Right.
over to you. Yes.
No, over to me.
Yes. Is
I
there any?
was I was looking forward to another question because I believe we can have one more question, guys. Is there anything else you would like to add? And
Any question? Yes, let us take a poll here. Any question that they want to know the right answer to that you have been facing a
absolutely
problem. So I'll ask that question to Swiksha. Let's see how Swiksha handles it, and if there is anything that I can do from my end to make it better, together we'll help you guys. So yes, any question pouring in.
correct. So this is your golden opportunity. You guys can have me answer any question you want. Okay. Any
Okay.
question, guys? You guys have no questions. I believe these people think I'm very confident. I have all the answers.
Any guys, any question, or should I ask a question? This is your opportunity. If you're facing trouble in handling any of the questions, this is the right platform here. Do come up with it.
Right. Harish is raising his hand. So, Harish, you can definitely type in the chat box which question do you want to ask. Again, Prashant, Varun, Mahesh, VJ, Ray, Sunil. How many interviews you faced, ma'am? I don't think that's a question which interviews would ask me, but I think I have. Let me just count. It's definitely not something I can count in one hand. I think 7 or 8, or okay, it's less than 10. It's around 7 or 8.
Okay,
To
there's a
managing a team, somebody is not responding correctly. How will I can handle? Okay, Harish, I think we can take this question, right?
yes, we can do that. And I think what he really wants to ask is that one of your team members is not on the same page with you. How would you handle the situation? Is this what he's trying to ask? To managing a team, somebody is not responding correctly. How will, okay, I think it's trying to ask if one of your team member is lagging behind. How would you handle the situation? Yes, Viksha, very good question. I've just rephrased it a little bit. If one of your team members is lagging behind, how would you handle the situation?
Okay, so in this case, I believe there must be.
Sorry to interrupt you. In the meantime, guys, even you keep on typing your answers that what are the qualities that she should have included here. Yes, Viksha, over to you. Yes, how would you handle such a situation?
Okay. All right, guys. I think we have quite a few questions coming up here. We'll try to take as many as possible. But answering Harish's question right now. So, in case I feel like a team member is lagging behind, in this case, I believe the root cause must be communication. So in this case, I will try to resolve the root cause. I will try to, obviously, first of all, I would get in touch with the teammate. If they're my colleague, I would like to get in touch with them personally and directly, and we would be able to discuss the work responsibilities, and I would be try to put it in the most polite way possible on where they are lagging behind, how I can help in case they need any help, in case they're facing any kind of personal issues as well, due to which they're not able to do some kind of work. And after that, obviously, the manager would also should be looped in, even though managers would know before you, if you look at it practically. But yeah, so managers should also be looped in, and ultimately it's all about the communication. So I'll try to resolve the communication issues that we're facing.
Okay, so the points that you included here, Swiksha, is number one, effective communication. That is the root cause of, I think, most of the problems in a team. So you will
Correct.
tackle that. Then you would approach your teammate and offer a helping hand. Again, a very good quality. Then you told me that you will try to, give your suggestions and, areas of improvement to him where he can work on it. But here, if you would have just added one or two lines, that again would have made your answer really perfect, is that in case if my suggestions are not working or the guy is not able to put in his best, I am very flexible and I'll be ready to shoulder some extra responsibilities so that my project doesn't get hampered. You have tried your level best, but sometimes there are people who don't listen to you. And in that case, you cannot let the project go neglected. So
Correct.
show flexibility, show your adaptability skills here that, I'll put some extra hours, I'll motivate the remaining team members to give their extra hours so that the project is not hampered. The outline here should be the project should be completed successfully.
All right. So I hope this helped me, to be very honest, Shilpa. But I hope this helped you guys as well. And let's take up another question from Harshi. Harshi is asking, what if I have a gap without any experience, even an internship? So she doesn't have any kind of internship. So I think in this case, if I have a gap, how I would justify is I would tell the employer, the interviewer, I'd be honest and I tell them how I utilize this. First of all, why do I have a gap? And secondly, how did I utilize the gap? And even if it ended up in failure, I can list down the learnings that I got out of that specific gap. And why am I specifically here at your company, specifically for this job role? And that would, I think, help the employer understand me, where I'm coming from, and why I should be hired in the first place. This is how I would like to answer that. What are your inputs in this, Shilpa?
Surely, Sucha, I think this is a common question that they are really concerned. It's okay, guys, if there is a career gap, own it up. That is the key to it. Like somewhere deep down in your heart, it's like, there is a career gap, there is a career gap. What do I do about it? It's okay. Own it up. But yes, as Swisha tell, turn it into a learning phase. That I didn't sit idle. I was upgrading myself. And you say now I haven't joined any courses. So how do I let them know that I was upgrading? I was watching YouTube videos on so and so. I was working on a project individually. I told you, don't lie, but fabricate things a little bit to show that career gap or to fill that career gap. But the key here is own it up, guys. Own it up. That is all I have to say for this particular question.
Absolutely. So let's just take up a question from YouTube Live now. Varun is asking, tell me about a time when you had to deal with a difficult coworker or team member. How did you handle the situation and what was the outcome? So I think that is a very, very good question, Varun. And in fact, that kind of caught me off guard, if I had to be honest. So, all right. So a difficult coworker or a team member, how did I handle this situation? I somehow cannot really relate if I talk about a co-worker specifically, colleague, because I've already had really good colleagues. But if I had to empathize or if I had to still think of that situation, in that case, I would try to maintain the relationship very formal. Obviously, I would try to, be friendly with them at first, try to understand where they're coming from. Maybe it's all because they're having a bad day, but even if that is something that does not improve over time, in that case I would try to keep the situation formal. And if it's something about the project, as Shilpa gave me a very good idea and an input, what I'll do is I would like to take up more responsibilities. I'll be shouldering that up and loop in my manager to make sure that it's not affecting the work. That's that. Coordination, communication, these are the key factors through which you can make sure that, your deliverables are not getting affected.
See, remember the question, how do you handle criticism? So I told you if it is constructive, okay. If it is negative, let it go. Same. She tried her level best. She told me all the strategies that she would be applying, effective communication, talking to that person. But if things didn't work out, it's okay. You cannot have personal terms with each and everybody. Maintain the formal terms. This is to be done. I'll be doing this. You need to do this. Help them if they need you. But yes, sometimes it's okay to maintain distance personally, but formally or professionally the gap should not be there because otherwise the work would be happening. Anything else? Any other questions that we need to take up?
Right. So there's this question by Nitin. He says that if your team is not working properly, what will you do? Tomorrow you have to submit the project. I believe, Nitin, that is something that is pretty similar. We've already covered that you will have to shoulder the responsibilities. And if that is not possible, again, you will have to loop in your manager in the first place. You'll have to make sure that, they are well aware of what's going on, why the work is not happening. You again have to be honest and give transparency about what you're working on. Okay, how to choose my career? I don't know what type of skill to have. Harish, in that case, I will recommend you go for a career guidance session that AccioJob offers. In case you're not aware where you can, what you can do is you can simply visit our website and click on set reminder for career guidance session. Okay, there's a network issue, ma'am. That is absolutely fine. Let's just see if we have any other questions. Okay, ma'am, can you tell me what role does DSA play in your interviews and how important it is in interviews? Okay, so DSA is something which is technical, Debakant, and because we're specifically limited to HR interview prep, and this is an HR interview, I would have to limit this. Me and both Shilpa have to limit this to HR discussion only. However, if you still feel like you'd like to discuss something that is technical, you can get in touch with us over Discord. I hope you guys have already joined our Discord community. If you have not already, let me just share with you the link again. I think apart from this, there is one last question in the live chat, which is, ma'am, in interview, how to ask salary expectations. This is, Shilpa, something that I cannot take up. Can you? It would be best if you can give inputs and let me know as well.
A very good question. I'm sorry I could not see the question. What are they saying that how to handle the question? What are your salary expectations? Correct?
Yes, salary expectations.
Okay. Because why did I confirm it? Because I always advise my candidates that you should not bring up this question in the HR rounds. That, ma'am, what is the salary that I'm going to give? Because it is like, on your first date, you're asking a girl, would you like to marry me? That is too soon. Wait for it. Okay. But if they ask you what is your salary expectation, always start with, I've done a research and according to the latest market trends, I expect something between this range to that range. And try to keep that range as elongated as you can. And for this, of course, like I told you before going to the uh, interview, you need to do a research on the company. And this is yet another thing that comes into that what is the salary range that they're offering. If you're an experienced, it becomes very easy for you that right now I'm getting so and so. Anything that is above 20% of this would be a great thing for me. But don't just stick to salary here if they ask you. As a fresher, my main motive here is to learn and grow. And I think your company is going to be the right platform for this. But if asked about salary, according to my research, the right salary for this particular job should be somewhere between this to this, a range.
All right. So Harish is asking, Swechha ma'am, your annual income, it is optional if you wish to disclose. I do not wish to disclose, Harish. I'm sorry.
Neither do
All
I.
right. Especially not on a public platform. So I'm sorry, Harish. All right. So I think that was pretty much it for the questions, guys. If you still have any questions with regards to not the Amazon mock interview, but anything in general with regards to HR interview prep, then please do ask. Um, Okay, Nitin, no, you cannot leave because now, right now we are having Accio Premier League. through which you can win 10 points, and you need at least 70 points to have this chance to grab your board speaker. So I think you guys can stay tuned in. Thank you so much, Irfan. Just stay tuned in, guys. I am sharing the link very, very soon. Just allow me a moment, guys. So here is your link. Make sure you're joining in right now. And this is a quick quiz to test how well you were listening. Because in the very first slide, I could see that Shilpa had mentioned to be good at communication, you have to engage in active listening. So I want to check how good were you at listening today. All right. So let's just see. I hope you'll be able to see my screen now. Um,
Not yet.
yeah. I think now you guys should be able to see my screen. Right. So I have just shared the link again in the chat box. Make sure, guys, that you are joining in. Extremely important. And let's just see how many people do we have. Once you join in, make sure you keep clicking a big thumbs up so that I know you guys are ready. So 5 people have joined in, but are you guys ready? We need more and more people here. We can have more and more people here because it would be really fun. Okay, Harshi, Irfan, Kavya, Umeera, Harish, Rameshwar, Pallavi, Nitin. Okay, got it. Nitin already ready. Got it. Thank you so much, guys. Got it. 6 people have joined in. Okay, guys, I am giving you a countdown. If you guys miss this out, that would be really a big loss to you guys. I'm sorry. All right, so let's just continue with this now. Giving you a countdown till 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Do join in. 2, 1, and here we go. So first question here is, what are your strengths? It can be anything. This is not an HR interview, but you can write anything. Very important. What are your strengths? This is to check your self-awareness.
Unable to join. Can you please look into this? Coming from.
Okay, you're unable to join. Why is that the case? I think so many people have already joined. You just simply have to click on this link. Okay. Nitin, what is me for? Are you your own strength? Okay, we have 3 answers. Cooperation. That is interesting. Confidence. Okay. So I have someone else as well apart from me here who's really confident. Okay. Calm minded, clam minded. Okay, that's clam minded, but you're not very good at grammar, I believe. Okay, smart work. You're good at smart work. That's interesting. Adaptable, patience, positiveness. I think that is positivity and attitude. Okay, attitude, got it. That is your strength, got it. Um, Time management, that is very interesting. Team player, wow, now that is very interesting. Fast learner, detail oriented, love it. Self motivated, okay. What else, guys? It can be anything. Good communicator. So, are you a good listener as well? So many more responses. Team management. So you want to be a supervisor. Java skills. Okay. Discipline. Okay. That is very interesting to see because discipline is something that maybe I lack. All right. Patience helped me a lot. Okay. So you can say patience. Anything else, guys? Otherwise, we'll be moving to the main questions, which would be being judged, as in, like, there would be a right or a wrong, and through that, you'll be ranked. Okay. All right. We have boldness, or okay, boldness. Okay. Positive. Okay. Grasping skills. Interesting. All right, so that is really interesting to see, guys. Just a quick disclaimer, if you guys have not already joined in our Discord community, please do so because we are going to be having a logical reasoning session tonight at 11 o'clock, and that would help you equip with all the aptitude skills that you guys require to clear the selection process at top-notch firms like Infosys, HCL, etc. because you wouldn't necessarily be going to an HR interview round unless you clear the aptitude stage. So very important. Make sure you're joining in.